Hi everybody, welcome to this week's video weblog. This week we're talking about commandments number 4 and number 6. These are the family values commandments. These are commandments that talk about the fabric of the family and about ways that the family can strengthen their bonds rather than tear them apart. It's something that God places value in. After all, He had a hand in our creation, and our parents also have a hand in our creation, so they are connected to Him. So we'll take a look at the first commandment, the fourth commandment, and then the sixth.
The Lord your God has spoken. Honor your mother and father.
I'm sitting here in my family room. This is the perfect place to talk about the first of the two family commandments. Honor your mother and father. What does honor mean, anyways? Well, it means that we care for and that
Dad,
we love.
can I have a snack?
Yeah, I'm recording the weblog right now, but you can go have a snack. First, I want you to get your jammies on, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, what this means is that we honor our parents. We care for them, we love them, and we respect them. But also, when they give us a reasonable request, or when they're giving us correction, we listen to it.
Now, Greg, I know you're really excited about having independence, but your mother and I are very concerned. After all, after that business in the old ghost town, and then getting lost in the Grand Canyon. And do you remember the time that we went to Hawaii and you got that cursed tiki idol? And then there was the time that you bought that clunker car from the other salesman. I'm just concerned about your making the choice to live upstairs in the attic.
But Dad, it's going to be really groovy, and, I promise that I won't do anything illicit. I mean, after all, there's not even a toilet in our room upstairs, so, we can't do anything bad. I just want to live in the attic and hang a groovy beaded curtain.
Greg, you do need to listen to your dad. He is the head of the house, and as God says, you have to honor your mother and father.
Oh, Alice, what would we do without you?
In addition to listening to and honoring our parents, God also provides some other helpers for our parents in the form of teachers and pastors, and civil leaders, as well as extended family, aunts and uncles,
Dad,
and grandparents.
I got my jammies on. Can I have 2 popsicles?
No, you don't need another popsicle, buddy. One is fine.
But Grandma always lets me have 2.
Yeah, well, that's Grandma. All right, finish your popsicle. I'll tuck you in a little bit. As I was saying, it's grandparents who sometimes happen to spoil kids as well. But God provides this safety net for all of us. This office of parent, as Martin Luther talks about, is something that deserves respect and honor. You can imagine a crown on the top of your parent's head.
We are not amused that you have not finished your peas, but have eaten your dessert instead. It's time for you to go to room and get in bed.
The fourth commandment is a two-way street. Not only does it require sons and daughters to honor their mothers and fathers, but it also requires parents to take care of, to love, and protect their children, and not to provoke them. Like this.
You shall not commit adultery.
Adultery is extremely damaging to the foundation of the family. It tears families apart. It can break up marriages. If children don't have a sense that their parents are loving and are together, and they feel that the marriage is fractured, then it can cause extreme difficulty. And whenever an affair happens, whenever adultery occurs, there's always a triangle. There's always a third person in this relationship who becomes involved and destabilizes this family relationship. Perhaps the most famous story of adultery in the Bible is the story of David and Bathsheba. One day King David is looking out from the rooftop and he sees Bathsheba bathing, and he desires her, so he summons her to his chambers and seduces her. Well, this ultimately leads to the murder of her husband, and God punishes David and Bathsheba for their sin by allowing the child that is conceived through their union to die. This commandment can also be tied into commandments 9 and 10, in that coveting or desiring of our neighbor's wife or other things that don't belong to us. It's interesting that some people who aren't married say, well, I haven't committed adultery, I haven't been improper with anybody who is married. But Jesus certainly tells us that if we look at somebody with lust in our heart, we have committed adultery. Think about how many times a day we are bombarded by images from media or from movies. This is Raquel Welch in 1 million years BC. This picture and this poster have been viewed many times by many young men. And ladies, you're not exempt either. This is Channing Tatum, people's sexiest man alive. Part of being human beings is that we are visual creatures. And sometimes our eyes cause us to sin or to stray.
But Ken, how could you? How could you?
Well, Barbie, you've kind of let yourself go. I mean, after all, who cut and styled your hair this morning? Why, hello, gorgeous. I love your long, beautiful blonde hair.
Were you talking to me?
No, I actually just saw myself in the mirror.
Well, that's it for this week. Both of these commandments are tough to keep. It's not always easy to honor our parents, honor our mother and father. And it's not always easy to keep our mind and our heart pure when it comes to people that we are attracted to. But it's good to know that we are forgiven through Jesus Christ. So, a couple of questions for you this week. What do these commandments mean to you? And how do you struggle with these commandments? And knowing that you are saved by grace through Jesus Christ, what are you free to do? Well, I'll see you next week. I'm going to go spend some time with my family.